Hello and welcome to the Fishing Guide Podcast. We are at Santee Cooper. We are having a great time. We're out here crappie fishing or crappie fishing, depending on where you live and how long you've been fishing for it. But we have Nick Dowda is here, and he is a big crappie fisherman. Loves crappie fishing. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Nick.
Yeah. So I'm Nick Dowda. Like I said, I'm from here, probably 2 hours west of Santee. Actually, used to live down here, probably 20 miles from Santee. So
wow.
I could call this my home lake. I love it. It's one of my favorite lakes. But I've been tournament fishing 10, 12 years now.
Wow.
So been tournament fishing, go all around United States tournament fishing. We fish a lot of club trails here local.
Right.
And we, like I said, my partner, me and him's been fishing probably 8 years together. So I love it. I mean, anytime I get a chance to go, that's what I'm doing. I'm crappie fishing.
Let's break it down, because you are kind of the local expert. I mean, literally, this was kind of and probably you might consider still your home lake.
Oh, yeah.
If someone was coming to fish Santee Cooper, what should they start looking for? Let's just go through the season. So in the spring, where would they go in the spring, and what are they looking for?
Spring, I mean, spring they're moving into the creeks. So creek channels down here, it's not really what you would think is creek, with bordered by two sides, two banks.
Right.
These are ditches especially in the lower Lake Moultrie. You got ditches. So you got a good map system, Navionics or your Humminbird, whatever electronics you got should show your ditches and your creek channels.
Right.
And the crap are moving in to spawn. So, I mean, long line trolling, anything, live scope and long line trolling, tight line, anything can be good in the spring. I mean, spring's the time to be down here to catch big.
How about in the upper reservoir
upper lake,
and in the spring?
That's right. In the upper lake, like Marion, you got more defined creeks where actually two bank lines. So you got Jack's Creek, you got Waibu Creek, Potato Creek, Talcall Creek. So you got a lot of good creeks on that end. That's actually more of a defined creek.
Something people would be more likely
to see on most lakes. Yeah.
So, and now let's go after the spring. They've moved.
Yep.
They've moved to go into the summer.
Lay their eggs. They'll start moving back out for the summer months. Get on any kind of structure. So start moving to the brush or anything natural, logs, a lot of trees in this lake. So fish will move back out, and they'll be structurally oriented for most of the summer. So
and let's talk about depth during the summer. What are there? Is there thermoclines in both of these reservoirs?
There is. Now, me personally, on the upper lake, I mean, you can catch fish shallow most of the year. I mean, you can catch fish in summertime 10, 15 foot, all the way up 30 foot. Lower Lake Moultrie, it seems like the 20, 25 foot brush is key in the summer. So
people use crankbaits here. They troll crankbaits or not? No,
I'm not saying they don't. I haven't. It's a lot of structure in the lake, especially upper lake. A lot of structure, and it'd be tough to
be a challenge.
Crank. Oh yeah. But like I said, any kind of, one poling, long lining, tight lining, 8 rods. I mean, anything, you can catch them anyway on these two lakes.
How about in the fall? The water's starting to cool off, and they're starting to move back.
That's right.
Where do you go?
It's still on that summer pattern. It's kind of, they'll start, as the water starts to cool off, they'll start easing off the brush. I would say they will still be around some kind of structure. But they'll start to school up and start to feed up for the winter.
Right.
So you find bait, you pull in the mouth of these creeks, find bait. You usually can find crappie this time of year. And like I said, they'll start pulling off the brush, getting in schooling up. So it's you can catch a lot of fish this time of the year too.
Winter's got to be fantastic.
Winter, when they fatten up down here. Santee's, it's probably the best blackfish lake in the country, in my opinion.
Really?
To catch a black crappie, yes. They're just thick. you want a chance to catch a 3-pounder, it's the place to come.
Really?
Oh yeah,
3-pound black.
3-pound black.
Ah.
It's not uncommon. I haven't personally caught a 1 over 3 in this lake, but I've caught a lot of 280s, 290s
Wow.
out of Santee.
So let's talk about the shoreline. So there isn't a whole lot of boat docks. If someone shows up here and they think they're going to shoot docks,
Yeah,
they're going to be sad, aren't
they're
they?
gonna be in trouble. There is a few, like I said, on that top end of the lake, Talcall, Potato Creek. There's a few docks in those creeks, but there's not a whole lot of shoreline with docks for dock shooters. This is more of a structure oriented, trees, brush type. So if you know anything like that, it's not really a dock shooter's lake. So.
I noticed that right away. We were out there, and we're at a media camp here in fact, we're staying at Hills Landing RV, and so there's just not a lot of docks. You got to find something to fish. So let's talk a little bit about how you find your fish. Like everyone has their own way that they do that. So let's talk. You're getting ready for a tournament, and you go to a lake that you don't know. How would you find that structure?
Well, first, I'm a plan ahead. I use Google Earth a lot, so I'll go back Google Earth, and I'll pull up Google Earth, find what creeks are in the lake, whether there's structure in the lake. I try to do a lot of research online before I even get to the lake. Find if it's structure related, past tournaments, have they won, or docks, whether it be docks or whatever it is for that lake. What's best, especially time of the year. I mean, that matters as well. But so like I said, I'll go back on Google Earth and try to pick out spots that I think would be holding fish depending on time of the year, and that's where when I get to that lake, I'll have starting points, at least start to pick out where what the fish are doing that time of the year. So and like I said, once I get there, summer, when they're on structure, and we spend a whole day, a couple days just side scanning, using electronics, looking for structure, brush, and but springtime when they're in the creeks, we're open water fishing. Most lakes you can pull in any creek and you go catch fish, suspended in the creeks in the spring. So it all depends. Like I said, depends on where you go in the country. I'm a deep water fisherman. I like to fish deeper water. That's what I do around here. So I'm not you go out west, whitefish, and they're shallow water fish, but I'm going to try to stick to what I'm better at, and that's blackfish and deeper water. So that's
how you pre-fish.
How I pre-fish. That's how I start. If I have to go shallow, I will, but I like I said, I'd rather fish deeper and look for blackfish.
So you're one poling?
One poling, yeah.
Yeah.
One poling casting.
So are you using a 7-foot rod? How long a rod you using?
My favorite rod's 8 foot.
8 foot.
8 foot catch the fever precision cast. I use, like I said, that 8 foot. It's got a little more sensitive tip. I like to throw a small jig, 30 seconds, something smaller profile, and that 8 foot I can really get it out there and stay off those fish. I like to stay off the fish 30, 40 foot and cast to them.
All right. So you have a team partner who usually in crappie tournaments, usually there's one guy who nets and then there's one guy who fishes.
Yeah.
So what's your role in this?
Well, I'm always on the trolling motor. I run a trolling motor. And I wouldn't say we take turns, but he's not. You see some guys standing behind him with a net, not fishing, but we both fish.
Okay.
In my boat, we both fish, but like I said, we'll make a cast. Fish don't react or bite the first cast, and the next person's already casting, getting set up on them. So it's never, like I said, just one person fishing usually. When we're in a tournament or so. So
are you using more of a fiberglass boat?
Yeah, fiberglass. Yeah, bass boat. It's a
bass
boat. Yep. So like I said, I used to have a deep, like a Ranger style boat, old deep V Ranger. We trolled 12 rods at the back and tight line, but now with today's technology at live scope and one rod, I got a bass boat, and that's
when you go fishing for fun, do you ever just go out there in a tight line, or is that out now?
I probably hadn't put rod holders in my boat in
Oh, you hadn't?
3 years.
Oh,
Yep.
no fishing for fun, huh?
No, when I go fishing for fun, it's still Alaska, one poling. So
Okay.
yeah.
You
I'm
think?
not saying I wouldn't go back and do it. I loved it. I mean, but it's just, I mean, I've got used to this, and that's what everybody's going to. So
Yeah. Let's talk about baits. Are you a hair jig man, or are you a plastic man?
I got plenty of both in the boat.
Oh.
Whatever. I usually keep maybe 2 rods with plastic and 2 rods with hair.
Tell them the reason why you have plastic and you have hair, because some guys aren't really keyed into this hair jig thing.
That's right. The hair, I mean, it's more of you get a finicky bite. You get a small hair jig that don't have much action. Sometimes you can tend to, this time of year, like I said, they're real finicky coming out of that summer pattern transition, and they're still pretty finicky. So a small hair jig sometimes can be the key. Very small, not a whole lot of action. You can trigger a bite sometimes just with a small hair jig, and also with a plastic, a very small plastic. 1 inch style bait plastic works well this time of year. So
You putting a split shot on top of that normally then?
I don't like to. I mean, it depends on if you got wind.
Right.
If you got wind, and sometimes I will, just so you can get that bait down there quicker. To stay on them longer with a piece of split shot, but
All right.
I'd rather fish a 30-second and let it slow fall.
Uh-huh. So if someone was coming to Santee Cooper and you had to tell them which one do you think, the upper reservoir or the lower reservoir should they go to?
Well, I would say watch your weather.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Because this lower lake, both lakes, I won't say just one, but your lower lake, Lake Moultrie, it can get dangerous real quick.
Okay.
I mean, anything over 6-8 mile an hour, you might as well not even try it. So it'll get dangerous quick.
Right.
But like I said, in the upper lake, you got some defined creeks, with bank lines, and you can get out of the wind pretty good. So it all depends.
Okay.
All depends on, like I said, the weather. If you get a good day, I'd rather go to the lower lake. I mean, but if somebody's wanting to come to Santee to start out, I would say probably go to the top lake, where you don't have to worry about the weather. And you start in those few creeks on the top lake.
Okay.
And look for brush, especially this time of year in the fall.
All right, sounds good. We appreciate that part. That takes us to Tackle Time. Tackle Time is sponsored by Pico Lures. Pico Lures has a complete line of hard and soft baits. You can check out all their stuff on picolures.com. Hey, Nick, if they want to find out more about you and what you're doing and how your tournament year is going and the upcoming tournament year, where would they go?
I'm on Facebook, Nick Dowda. Find me on Facebook. I got a TikTok, Nick Dowda Fishing on TikTok. And like I said, the South Carolina Crappie Association, we got a Facebook page. That's our local trail.
Okay.
Southeast Crappie Alliance. I fished. That's the trail, that Southeast Trail. You can find me on there, and we're getting ready to go to not Del Hollow, I'm sorry, that was last year. We're getting ready to go to Old Hickory in Tennessee next month. So
right.
That's what would be our Old Hickory shootout.
Yep. That's right.
So, yep, that's our next one, next big tournament. So we're heading to Tennessee.
There you go. Sounds good. Like I always like to end the show, make sure you keep your hook sharp and your lures in the water.